Good morning, Texoma, and thanks for joining us. I'm Ashley Fitzwater, and this morning we're taking an inside look into Hospice of Wichita Falls with a specific focus this morning on the annual Tree of Lights campaign. Joining me now with the details is Tricia Golding. And Tricia, you are the Development Special Events Coordinator for Hospice of Wichita Falls. So first of all, thanks for being here this morning.
Ashley, thank you.
28 years, Tricia. This is amazing. It's been going on. Can you tell us, though, what is the Tree of Lights campaign in case people just don't know?
I would love to do that because I'm sure there's all kinds of new people that live in town.
Absolutely.
Hospice of Wichita Falls was founded in April of 1985. And at that point, we knew we needed a fundraiser. Jan Banta was the CEO at that time, the first CEO, and a wonderful person. And there were hospices around the country, I think, that were doing some Tree of Lights campaigns, but she wanted it extra special. So she got together with some people in the community, and they decided that if we could get someone to donate the materials and the time and build and erect a great, big, wonderful, steel framed tree and put it somewhere at the highest point that everybody in Wichita Falls could see it, then we could light it. And then if our goal was reached every year, there would be a star on top of it, and that signified to everybody in the community that we reached our goal. So there was a wonderful man that built it. To this day, he still puts it on top of the Chase Bank, and we are so grateful to him. Gordon Parkey, along with volunteers and employees, it takes all day long. The star itself, I think, is 450 lights. It's huge.
Wow, it is huge.
It looks so tiny up there.
Yes, it looks small, but it really is big.
Big.
It really is.
And it has to go up the side of that bank building.
Oh,
so
terrifying. But it's beautiful once it's up there.
It is beautiful.
Come November 19th, that's whenever we are going to be out there live, of course. We're going to see that Christmas tree all lit up. And for that evening, I guess, or for the moment when you turn it on, a little bit of the star, correct?
The star stays on that night. Chris Horgan, again, will be back out with our CEO, Elisa Eccles, and they will talk a little bit about the campaign and the goal, and then we will light the tree and keep the star on just for the night, and it will not be lit again until we reach our goal. The great thing is the money, the $200,000 that we're trying to raise again, and we did last year as well, it goes strictly to patient care, and then all of our wonderful bereavement programs that we offer the family. Not only do we take care of the patient, Ashley, but we also make sure that the family is all right during our care and service, and then for a year after the loss of their loved one. So it is a really great thing. Just think, if everybody in Wichita Falls alone bought one light, we'd be halfway to our goal.
Absolutely, because $10 will, of course, buy a light.
That's right.
Light it up. You can do that in someone's name, correct? You can do that in someone's honor.
Birth of a child,
yes,
anything. It's an easy way to give a gift, and you're not spending a lot of money.
In case people just aren't really sure of what hospice does, you know, end-of-life care is provided, and really at no cost if they're not able to pay for it.
That's right.
Correct?
You know, in 2012 alone, we gave $443,000 in non-funded care. And so that's a lot of money. And no one will ever be denied hospice services. There are all kinds of ways that hospice is paid for. It's paid through private insurance. It's paid through private pay. Sometimes people can pay for their hospice care. It's also paid through Medicare and Medicaid. And as you know, with sequestration and with Medicare and Medicaid cutbacks right now, we are predicting for sure probably a loss of almost $1 million.
Wow.
So more than ever, this $200,000 is important to us. And we couldn't do it without the community. And I always say, once you buy a light, you become a part of Hospice of Wichita Falls. You know, actually this year, we'll continue to be in Psych Center. They're moving our table from that kind of greeting area where you see Sears behind us over to in front of the Dillard's men's store. They're redoing the mall and the floors and all that. So we feel like that'll be a good place. But if you go to the mall and you can't find us, and we're there the Friday after Thanksgiving, walk down to Dillard's to the men's store, and you'll find us there in front. And we will be there until December the 13th. So it's a long time to be there. We're also going to United Supermarket.
Oh, great.
Market Street has asked us to come in and be a part of theirs, and we will be there a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then a Friday. You know, there's only 3 weeks in the campaign this year.
Wow.
So we've got a lot of work to do.
A lot to do, but you know, out there in the communities, while you're maybe doing some shopping, some Christmas shopping, hitting up those sales,
That's
and
right.
then even doing your grocery shopping, you can go out
That's
there
right.
and help donate.
Or we love people to come out to our building. You've been to our building.
Yes, it's beautiful.
But a lot of people have not ever come. And I think when they come in, they're amazed at how large we are.
Yes.
And, you know, just a small fraction of that is the inpatient center. We only have 12 beds. But we're just a lovely, beautiful facility. And so we love it when people come into our building. We have an opportunity to maybe even give them a tour. It's a wonderful thing.
And it's off Johnson Road. If you know where Ryder High School is in Wichita Falls, you can find it. What is the exact address?
4409 Johnson Road.
4409 Johnson Road. Now, whenever we're talking about the money, the funds that are going to come in, this $200,000,
Right.
what will be done with that, you know, whenever it all comes
Sure.
in?
Well, it goes to patient care. And then all those wonderful support groups. You know, to be a hospice, there's a lot of things that you have to do. One of those is offer bereavement to the people that you've taken care of, their, you know, to their family members. But we also offer it to anybody in our community that's lost a loved one, regardless of whether or not it is a hospice patient. You know, we have a daytime support group, we have an evening support group, we have memorial services, we have a Wings of Hope group that meets, that's when you've lost a child at any age. We also have building bridges that happens twice a year for kids that have lost somebody special in their life, and our summer camp, Camp Grinnigan. And there is no cost ever to anybody. And I will also tell you this, we have a licensed professional counselor, and actually we have 2 now, and their private practice is Hospice of Wichita Falls.
Wow.
So even, you know, our first priority is our patients and our family members, but time and time again, we open our door to people. There are a lot of tragic things that happen. You know, we're in 12 counties, including Wichita, and so we are there to take care of our neighbors, and you do not have to have a hospice facility. You just need to call. And sometimes people just need to talk once, and sometimes people need to talk more. And that's what happens when you are the community nonprofit hospice.
You said in 2012, there were about 206 patients they took care of, but after you also took care of those family members, those friends.
That's right.
It was more than 1,200 people, and
That's right.
that number is even bigger for 2013. So
It is.
amazing to see how it does go beyond just the patients. But real quickly, you know, a lot of times when you think of people going to hospice, you know, and you brought this up at a recent media luncheon, and it was talking about how, you know, people may have the conception it's just elderly folks that come in.
It's hospice employees that lose a loved one, our volunteers that might pass away on our care. We, you know, we take care of a lot of folks, and I think people think of us at the very end of life. Our goal, I think, always is to just do more education and become familiar with what we do, because we do so much more than just end-of-life care.
Absolutely. Well, we are not done talking about Hospice of Wichita Falls. We need to take a quick break. Much more on how you can get involved. Also, how local Texoma kids are stepping up to the plate to help meet this goal. It's pretty impressive. So don't go anywhere. Texoma will be right back with much more. Welcome back to Inside Texoma. Once again, we are taking an inside look at Hospice of Wichita Falls with a specific focus on the Tree of Lights campaign. It kicks off in just a little more than 2 weeks, helping to raise $200,000 for this nonprofit that not only provides end-of-life care, but also so many other services for those in our community. Now, Tricia, we talked, of course, about the big date that's coming up November 19th. Part of that, though, is Texoma school kids, and I love how these children at the different schools in the Wichita Falls ISD, maybe other schools,
other school districts, yes,
all take part. Can you tell us maybe some of the things they do?
Well, you know, one of the things that has already happened to us is Zundy Junior High School. I don't think, maybe they're a different academy. You know, everybody has new names, but Zundy, the leadership class has already raised and given us a check for $1,000.
Wow.
And, you know, almost every year, Kirby Junior High School has gotten involved. Last year alone, the school kids raised over $20,000 for Hospice of Wichita Falls. So Radio Day is a day that we get on Blake FM 102.3, and we're on the air from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. trying to reach that goal, those last-minute lights. The school kids will come up, and they bring their milk jugs. It's very tearful for me because I think so often, the kids really are who help us light that star at the very end. Then we'll have education about hospice, and then we'll have people in the community that will actually come and talk about, how we change their lives or their loved ones' lives. And so it's a really beautiful. And then during the day, we play Christmas carols and eat a lot of food. And then if we reach that goal, we scurry out to the parking lot and we light the star. And Chris will be there, part of that. And we love the community to come out.
Yes, and we're going to show it live right here on News Channel 6. So you, of course, want to make sure you're staying tuned for that. And I have to agree with you on the kids. If you have kids, if you have grandkids, maybe nieces and nephews in the school district, make sure you ask them if they're doing something at their school, because maybe it's like 50 cents you can buy a light. I know they do different things at my son's school. So it's an easy way for you to get involved and teach them even about giving back. I think that's important too.
That's right. So. A way somebody in our community, Dr. Brian Hull, he's actually doing a third-party fundraiser for us. It'll be December the 7th in Archer City at the Royal Theater. Dr. Hull loves music, and he's really great at helping new artists become well-known artists. So we are going to have a function called Jingle All the Way.
Love that name.
And you can call us and start making reservations, and we will also be sending out invitations. But it's open to anybody in the community. You have an opportunity to jump on a bus at our facility. We'll take you over to Archer City, where there'll be really kind of a fun activity at your table, and then there'll be a dinner. And then there'll be this great entertainment. And we've got a wonderful raffle that you can partake of some tickets there. And then we'll put you back on the bus and bring you home. You also get, and I should have worn it, the Jingle All the Way t-shirt that, by the way, everybody in the community is going to want one.
It is very cute. I have seen it. Cute. I have to agree.
That's right. And so it's all about the shirt, too. But I hope you'll call us at Hospice of Wichita Falls, 691-0982, if you're a music lover, because you'll love this. And we're really grateful to Dr. Hull. It's in memory of his parents, and so we're so indebted to him. He loves us, and so we're very grateful. But third-party fundraisers happen for us all the time. So to anybody in the community that's watching this, if you've done one, thank you, because that's an easy way for us to increase some money.
Yeah, and that's what this is. I mean,
it's all going to the Tree of Life
to help reach this campaign goal. Part of this $200,000. So if you'd like to give, this is a fun way to give. Where you can get involved. The Jingle All the Way, and I know. What is the date one more time on
December 7th.
December 7th. And when do they need to get those reservations in? Because I know there are limited
spots.
That's
right. We can have 150 people, and we need to order the T-shirts about the 22nd or 23rd of November. And then you can either come by Hospice and pick it up, or we're going to hand deliver your T-shirt to you. And so we're real excited about that. So just talk amongst your friends. I know the Nutcracker is that night, and that's an amazing thing.
Yes.
50 years.
Wow.
But we want people who love good music to come. And it's not going to be a night where we talk a lot about hospice. It's just going to be a great night of friendship and entertainment.
Maybe even a date night for a couple out there.
That's right. Or KAUZ could buy everybody here.
There you go.
A table or two.
That sounds fun. I like it.
Me too.
Well, again, that's all for the Tree of Lights campaign. And we have heard so many stories of how hospice helps families. We've talked about them here on Inside Texoma. I encourage you this morning to check them out. They're on our website, newschannel6now.com. I know we have had a mother who lost her daughter, and although going back to what you said, you don't always have to use hospice for your family services.
That's right.
She used them for bereavement, and even for her children, her other children, use those camps.
That's right.
It's amazing how it helped change their lives, and now they're even giving back. So awesome to hear. Another thing is the My Time books, and just one more thing that you guys do, it's free of charge. People can come by and pick one up. We have another story about those online. What can you just, if you briefly tell us
You
about
know, for
those?
about 5 years, we have wanted to give a gift to the community. So during the month of November, you can even come by. You can come by anytime, and we'd love to give you the My Time booklet, which is a way to prepare for end-of-life wishes. And it's so simple, actually. It's not all about funeral plans or you know, things like that. It's about what's your passcode into your cell phone? What's your password to get into the computer? You know, my husband and I talk about, you know, what do we want at our end of life? And it's interesting. We're very different in our needs. And it's telling your kids wonderful memories about your childhood. It's a beautiful book that was donated to us by Frances Gibson. She's been an employee, a board member, and a volunteer for a hospice since almost the inception, in memory of Frank Gibson, her husband, who was a lawyer here, and saw time and time again how important it was. You know, at the time of an illness or approaching death, families need to be families.
Yeah.
They don't need to be scurrying around town and trying to figure everything out. So the My Time booklet is just a fabulous way. Since then, actually, somebody in your station with Telemundo, Alicia Perez, is helping us distribute the My Time book in Spanish.
I love that.
And like you say, we'll deliver, we'll come to your organization or your group. We love to talk about the My Time booklet. We unleashed it at our appreciation banquet last year in March, and we will give the results of how many we have given out in March of 2014. And I think everybody will be really amazed at how beautiful this community project has taken off.
And you know, it's such a non-threatening way to also bring that up, because I know anytime you talk about the end of life or you talk about having to maybe even answer some of those uncomfortable questions.
It's hard.
It is hard, and a lot of people don't want to do it. They keep putting it off.
That's right.
But the book is beautiful. It is an easy way. Maybe pick one up for yourself and other people in your family, and just, you know, have them fill it out on their own time.
That's right.
And, you know, keep it all together. It is a great thing to have all of that information in one spot.
That's right. I kind of had to start at the front, then I had to go to the back, and then I kind of got into the serious material. But we, at our house, experienced no plans being made for a loved one, and it really was a difficult time for all of us. And then we've experienced where all that information was completed, and we just got to be a family and really have some great memories of that loved one. So it is important, but we know how hard it is. Talking about end-of-life care is just a difficult thing. It is.
But something hospice just, you know, tries to make that transition much easier for families in Texoma. So we, of course, appreciate that and all that you guys are doing for the community as well. So another way, Texoma, for you to show your thanks. Again, this Tree of Lights campaign for just $10. You can buy a light, help light up that tree so that way they meet their goal and we can light that star come December 13th. Well, we are not done. Stick around. Much more with Hospice of Wichita Falls is after the break. Welcome back to Inside Texoma. Once again, we're taking an inside look at Hospice of Wichita Falls. The Tree of Lights campaign kicks off in just a little over 2 weeks. We're all hoping to help light that star on top of the tree. That will first kick off November 19th. Now, Tricia, we have been talking about the campaign, the different things that Hospice does.
Right.
Now, I know if you've watched News Channel 6, you've heard a lot about Tricia. She has done so much. You've been with the, of course, Hospice of Wichita Falls for a long time.
A little over 7 years.
Wow.
And yeah, it's been a beautiful, beautiful union.
I understand that now. There's another hat that you're wearing. Can you tell
There
us
is.
a little bit about
when
that?
When I first went to work for Hospice, I was kind of over community education and some marketing and writing the newsletter and taking care of the Tree of Lights and our wonderful golf tournament and all those things that we do annually. But about a little over a year ago, I was asked to kind of move over into the planned giving, the development part of Hospice of Wichita Falls, and then still continue to do special events. And so my new job is really just visiting with lots of people about, kind of ties in with the My Time booklet, you know. Would you like to consider leaving Hospice of Wichita Falls in your will or estate planning? And some people want to give us, you know, land and insurance policies, and other people just set aside in their will that if there's money left over, they'd like to give us a certain percentage. You know, what's interesting is we're just planting the seed. There really hasn't been a full-time development person at Hospice of Wichita Falls. And so I figure long after I am done working, maybe we'll see the benefits of my work. And so we do not want to pressure anyone, but it's a beautiful way. If you feel like Hospice of Wichita Falls has made a difference in your life or in the community's life, it's a beautiful way to remember us, so that on down the road we don't have to worry about finances. You know, we are determined one way or another to continue the kind of support and service that we give. We want it to be extraordinary, and we want everybody to feel at home and comfortable with us. That's very important, not only to the staff, but to the volunteers, to the board of directors, and I think the community, and they should expect that. And so to do that, it takes money. And so it's just a great way to secure the future of Hospice at Wichita Falls. It doesn't matter what your planned gift is. It can be minimal, or it could be maybe more than most could give. But it's not about the amount of the gift. It's about remembering us. So if you're interested in information on that, we would love for you to call, and you can ask for me, and I'll love to buy you a cup of coffee or give you a tour of the facility, and we'll tell you a lot of information that you might be interested in. Some people might want to leave money to our children's programs, you know, others to patient care. You know, actually, we don't just talk the talk, we really walk it in our building. I think this is good for everybody in the community to know that we don't just ask for you to give, we give as employees. And about a year ago, we started a program called 100 Pennies, and we have big 5-gallon water jugs all over the building. We as employees put our money in the jug once a day, once a week, once a month, every 3 months. That money that's collected out of those jugs is how we grant some beautiful wishes for our patients and their families. We don't take funds out of the Hospice of Wichita Falls budget for that. We do that. For instance, we had a patient the other day, they've been married 50 years, and so we got to go buy the anniversary flowers for this gentleman to give his wife that was really close to passing. And it made us feel really good. So I do want the community to know that we give first before we ask you to give. I feel like that's most important.
Well, I think it shows the passion that even
you
have behind what you do.
Right.
And you know, we hear stories all the time, and I know I keep saying this, but you know, if you need to hear more about really how they're changing the community, we've had so many guests come on and share their personal stories, and it's eye-opening how much hospice really does for the community. Recently, we heard of a woman, and I believe it was her mother who was in there staying, and she said she felt like she was treated like the patient, with just such love from the nurses, and you know, they allowed her to just be sure she could run home maybe and take a shower and just relax and go about her business as well while her mom was being looked after. So
that's right. And the time that her mother was in our inpatient center, you know, the majority of our patients are at home. We only have 12 beds in the inpatient center. We were really busy with a lot of family members and friends for a lot of the patients that were there. And so it was kind of an extra busy time. And I think, you know, when she talked at the media appreciation luncheon to launch the Tree of Lights campaign with you guys, she really got really sentimental about, she felt like her needs were every bit as important as her mother's. And I want to tell you, our staff, they are the most wonderful people I know. I don't know how they do their job every day, but they give their heart and soul. And so thank you, Ashley, for letting us come share our story with you again. I encourage everybody to buy a light. It's a simple Christmas gift. We need to raise $200,000.
And they can go to the mall, you said, or United Supermarkets.
Market Street.
Market Street.
And we're right there in front of the grocery carts.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Right there, easy for you.
And we promise we won't chase you down the aisle while you're shopping. But it's a great time for us to see people and listen to stories, too.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure they love to hear that. And so make sure you head out there and do that. Again, you have until December 13th. To get those in, or to, of course, make a pledge at least. That's what you had said.
That's right.
You can also stop by the office, take a tour, as she said, and head online, newschannel6now.com. You can learn much more, hear even more stories about Hospice of Wichita Falls and really what they've done for our community. Well, Tricia, thanks again for being here today and for sharing.
You're welcome,
We always
Ashley.
appreciate it.
You know, the community is important, and I won't get all sentimental, but we say time and time again that if it weren't for the media, people like you and Chris and Mike Taylor and Chris Cunningham and Alicia and everybody that's a part of your station, we could not be successful at what we do. So that is really eternal gratefulness.
Oh.
And I appreciate you. And Merry Christmas.
Well, thank you, and Merry Christmas to you
Yeah.
too. It's exciting. It's finally here. We enjoy that.
That's right.
And don't forget about Jingle All the Way to Texoma. We hope you have a wonderful day. As always, we'll see you back here next Sunday morning for another look inside Texoma.